Before I start this week's episode of Behind the Glass, let me tell you quickly about a new sponsor that has come on board, Active Digital, a business mobile provider, an award-winning business mobile provider, a brother and sister organization. They've been providing mobile and digital solutions for over 2 decades, giving clients a wealth of knowledge and expertise. As an Apple reseller, Active Digital provides mobile devices, iOS apps, and cloud services to UK organizations, including the GB Olympic teams. They work closely with UK mobile networks, and in 2020 they were awarded the Telefonica O2 Director's Choice Partner of the Year. Now, excitingly, they've decided to give away a set of AirPods Pro to one lucky Behind the Glass listener. So all you have to do is head over to the Active Digital YouTube channel and leave a comment on their latest video saying "Seen Through Glass sent me." Then a winner will be picked at random and announced in a later episode of Behind the Glass. Anyway, for now, on with the episode. Hello one and all, and welcome to Behind the Glass. I am your host, Sam, from the YouTube channel Seen Through Glass, and alongside me, as almost always, it's Mr. Tony from Gravelwood Car Sales.
You shortened the intro.
Well, I have. Well, because we're going to be doing a new intro for season 4 that I keep teasing and keep promising is coming, and so I thought, well, let's just get ahead of ourselves and cut the intro down a bit.
Fair.
It was a bit rambly, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, we're at work today.
Well, there we go. Not only are you Mr. Tony from Gravelwood Car Sales, we are at Gravelwood Car Sales, back where it all began.
Yes.
Long-term viewers of this podcast will know that the early episodes were filmed here in this very office.
Or the mezzanine.
On the mezzanine as an alternative. What happened to Gary the plant?
He's next door still, but
okay.
It's a bit cold out there.
Yeah,
So
I was going to say.
heating on in here.
We really are throwing back for the OG listeners or viewers right now. So yeah, some of you might be watching here on the YouTube channel. Hello, thank you very much. Make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications so you don't miss future episodes. If you're listening, thank you very much for listening. And patrons, we love you, we adore you. If you want to support this podcast, head over to patreon.com/Behind the Glass. Right, let's dive straight into it.
Good.
No messing around.
And I know why you dive straight in. Because a couple of people went in on you last week, because we do read the comments, ladies and gents.
We read all the comments and the emails and the DMs and the death threats.
Especially the M2 ones.
From M2 Owners Club to Seen Through Glass.
And there was some negative comments about the first 5 minutes. I mean, we have to do this sometimes.
Yeah, it's admin, it's the upfront, we got to set up the show, we got to talk about some bits that we need to talk about, and because some people, this is the first time listening to this show.
Of course.
And so we've got to welcome them and explain what's going on and how they can follow us, etc., etc.
Yeah, we need to emphasise the fact that we're a well-oiled machine. I mean, we're not, but yeah.
But we have just done what we didn't want to do, which is ramble for the first 2 minutes. So let's just jump straight in.
Okay.
Because there's a lot to talk about in terms of car news in today's episode. Our main focus, our main feature, as the headline suggests, is discussing the best sports car you can buy sub £50,000. But we're going to be coming back to that because we've got important things to discuss before then. So let's kick things off with a controversy. Ooh.
Well, I'm glad you're going to come back to the 50,000 thing, because you sent me a message and said think about it, and I didn't think about it, and now I've got a bit of time to think about it.
Tony, can you please think of best sports cars under 50,000?
Okay, fine.
But to focus on the controversy, we did talk about the fact that last week SSC broke the, I think, production car speed record with the Tuatara. Claiming to have reached, I think, 316 was their combined average, whatever it was.
Up and back.
Up and back, exactly. But the top speed that got all the headlines was 331 miles an hour. Very impressive. Took the title from Bugatti with the Chiron Sport, or whichever one it was. Anyway, long story short, it has now... the things have turned.
Yes.
Because very recently, good friend of ours and the podcast, Shmee150, has come out with a video basically questioning the authenticity of the run, of the sort of actual record.
You did.
Now, I'll be fully honest, I've been quite busy the last few days, and I still haven't had a chance to watch the entirety of Shmee's video. I skipped through it to get a gist of what was going on, and I've read a few forums and WhatsApp chats, but I don't know everything, so I don't personally really want to get involved with the did they, didn't they argument, because I just don't feel like I know enough yet.
Me too.
And I feel like it's still going to evolve. But
And who cares?
Well, yeah, I mean, I care because it's cool to know what the fastest car in the world is.
Yeah.
But okay. Well, now, yeah. What I was going to say is, I don't care because like SSC like to coin Scott Mills. You listen to Scott Mills?
No.
BBC Radio 1 presenter, and he does a who. It's like a who. Like who cares? Who? Anyway,
okay.
So basically, what I want to talk about and applaud is the fact that Shmee 150 has come out with this video.
Yeah, well, we spoke about this a little bit yesterday. We spoke on a phone call, didn't we? And we both agreed and said that he'd put the video together really well, and he's not accused anyone of doing anything, and all he's done is question what they've put out.
He's raised some important questions. He's identified potential flaws or suspicious areas of the video, of the record, and just said, look, I'm looking at this and I'm asking these questions. And I think the thing is, there's lots of ways you can look about it, and we're going to find out more. It's going to be a running story, I think, for the next few months as SSC come back and try and argue or answer those questions, etc., etc. But for Shmee, who's arguably the biggest in the automotive vlogging world, okay, there's lots of professional outlets out there that maybe have larger channels, but in terms of YouTube vloggers, I think Shmee is still the biggest, maybe on a journalistic slant, because in America you've got DDE and Salamandra or something.
Well, it's definitely the biggest in this country.
Fine, there we go.
Or Europe.
Yeah, in Europe, exactly.
Yeah.
And so it was a threat to his credibility to come out with this video if it wasn't. I mean, I know him well enough to know that he never would have done it if he didn't believe he was 99% right in the questions he was asking.
For sure, yeah.
And because also, if he was just to go out and do a sort of clickbait video being like, oh, I don't believe it, it's not real, I think people would have saw a little bit of a joke. Like,
no, he didn't say that.
Yeah, you're a bit jealous, mate. Like, oh, it's because Bugatti are paying you or whatever. But it wasn't that at all. It was actually, a really well put together video that, as I say, asked some important questions that everyone went, oh, good point, actually. Yeah, I thought the same thing. So yeah, I want to applaud Tim.
Yeah, me too.
For asking those questions in such a public way. And let's see how this unfolds. I think when we get the next update in the story, we can read up about it more. We'll have time to read up about it more, and then we can wage in with our opinions, I think.
Well, I'll let you read him because I am honestly not interested. But the basic fact of the matter is, if I had the money to buy either of them cars, and I haven't got one of them on order, have I?
No. You got the Jumeirah. And something else, but I've forgotten what it is.
Okay, yeah. So, but I would. I mean, like I said last week, I don't know who SSC are, so I would have choose the Veyron, or not the Veyron, the Bugatti anyway.
Yeah. No. What about the Koenigsegg? Because you're getting a Jumeirah, so what about
is that a Koenigsegg?
The Regera or the Jesko? I don't even know. I can't keep up. Anyway, so stay tuned. Plenty more of that to come. But if you haven't seen it, if you don't know what we're talking about and you want to hear the whole story, go and check out Shmee 150's channel. Watch the video. It is fascinating, even though I haven't seen the whole thing. But yeah, bravo to him. Moving on, we've got news that's literally just been announced. It's actually trickling through as we're recording because Bugatti, speak of the devils, have literally just revealed a new car.
Not to break the speed record.
Well,
please no.
The headline I'm seeing here on CNN is Bugatti unveils a superlight hypercar that can top 300 miles an hour. Controversial. Let's come back to that another day, CNN.
Yeah.
It's called, now I'm definitely going to say this wrong, it's called the bolide or bolide. It's apparently a French word, a bit of slang. Seb Delaney could help us out here. For a very fast car. That's what it means.
Right.
So it's like the French, they don't go oui, they go ouais. Where? Cool kids go, where?
Yeah.
Comment t'appelles tu? Where?
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea what you're saying.
No, I think I just made that up. But anyway, the bolide or bolide. Now, this is a track-only concept, supposedly. My big hunch was, in the lead up to the reveal of this car, that this was Bugatti's entrance to the new World Endurance Championship.
Okay, fine.
This new formula, this new level, which is going to have all these kind of, cool kind of Toyota and... Well, it's supposed to be the Valkyrie, but I don't think that's going to happen anymore. Anyway.
Has it got an engine or is it electric?
No, it's got the same engine as the Chiron.
Right, okay.
But completely redesigned. Super light, apparently. So it actually looks pretty cool, I think. It's sort of elongated, shrunk down Chiron. Looks a bit like a Gran Turismo concept. Yeah, so a return to the racetrack, I think, would be mega. And I'm still so excited by this new level of World Endurance Championship. Hopefully we're going to get back sort of homologation hypercars, basically.
Yeah.
See some really cool things. I think, some stuff is coming and going, but fingers crossed. That
Le Mans.
Yeah, Le Mans.
Yeah,
of course. And so, what? You're right over there?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Just trying to get involved. Le Mans! That's what I would say, Le Mans. So yeah, let's wait and see. More information to come. It's literally been announced as we were recording this podcast, so we're learning about it. As we are. I can tell Tony is really excited and definitely wants to know more about.
Oh, so I want to buy one.
Yeah, it's going to rival your Jumeirah. Now, speaking about something which you might be more interested in, but maybe also have an inside scoop on, keeping the car news theme going. Did you see the Porsche kind of Safari crossover 911 being tested?
With the wood on the wings.
Yeah, on the arches.
Yeah.
So these images came out of a 992 911. Didn't look like it was a GT3 test mule, with a slightly higher suspension and some like widened arches with like wood or plastic, like widened arches.
I saw, yeah.
And I think the Porsche aficionados, including myself, went, "Oh my God, it's a Safari. It's a modern day Safari. It's a crossover, blah, blah." I kind of doubt that that's the case. I don't know. But what did you think?
Well, I thought, what was that?
What a load of crap.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's definitely, I mean, you can't have a crossover 911, surely.
No, I mean, but
what's the McCann for?
good point. I don't think that's what it is. Like, it would be super weird for Porsche to bring out a 911 Safari, a crossover.
Yeah.
Because they've never really done it. It was a motorsport car back in the day. Like, it wasn't ever a road car. And as you say, I don't think anyone's sitting out there going, "Oh God, I really want to go, climbing a mountain in my 911," apart from like 4 people around the world.
Or you being one of them.
Me being one of them. So it would be a weird car for them to make. But maybe, firstly, it's an electric Porsche. Potentially. No one talked about it.
So it's higher and got wood.
Who knows?
Well, wood's flammable.
I don't think it was wood, mate. Wasn't it plastic?
No, it looked like wood to me.
I think it looked like wood, but I don't think it was wood.
Okay.
That would be really going back in time for bolting wood to development 911. But yeah, weird one. It could have just been a test mule. They could have just been playing with us. But I do feel like Porsche are trying to push that 992 into different arenas.
Yeah.
Hybrid, EV, maybe crossover, maybe I don't know what.
Yeah, well, we definitely know there's hybrid and EV 911s coming at some point.
So, that could be seen. But I think the hype around a potential Safari, unless it was a motorsport test mule, like, they're generally going to go and do the Dakar and stuff, but it wouldn't have looked like a road car.
Well, if it's a disguise, it would.
Oh,
wouldn't it?
Look at you.
Yeah, I mean, they do have us on, don't they?
They do. They often mess us around. So we'll wait and see. But there we go. One big controversial story, and then 2 new cars for us to keep an eye on over the coming weeks and months. But should we dive into today's big topic?
Yeah, let's.
The best sports cars under 50k. Now you've got some thinking to do.
No,
you figured it out, have you?
Yeah.
Okay. Now these can't all be cars that you've got in stock downstairs. Even though you do have, I think you actually have one of the cars that I've chosen downstairs.
Really?
And as a reminder, this is sports cars. Okay, so this is for the enthusiast who maybe's got a bit of money to splash. Well, let's just go into it. I was going to say I'm going to discount some things, but we'll
How many are we going to pick?
I'm going to pick. Well, let's just go for it. I don't know, 3, 4.
Okay.
I've got the patrons to suggest a whole load as well.
Okay.
So we'll go through theirs at the end.
At the end.
At the end. So we'll do ours first, and then we'll look at theirs. Because the point with this being is there is so much to choose from, and you know where I got the idea for this. The M2 haters.
Really?
Who said to me, there is no better car for that money that does what the M2 does. So I thought, I'll sit on Auto Trader and have a look. And the amount of amazing cars I saw sub 50k. Fine, some of them not as practical, some of them not as usable, etc., but some amazing cars out there, and that's why I wanted to talk about this.
I'd agree with him, mate.
You'd agree that there's no better car than the M2?
In that 30 grand price point, I mean, that's a mega car.
The point that was made is 4 seats, ISOFIX, sports coupe. And I was like, okay, you kind of got me there. Because when you look at like Alpines, which I think are still quite expensive, 4Cs, that kind of sports car, or 2 seats, ridiculous. Then you look at what other small little coupes there are. Are there any?
Can a sports car have a boot?
Yeah, of course.
Good. I've just found another one.
Okay. but do you know what I mean? Where I'm saying, like, apart from the 2 Series, Audi don't make a little mini thing, do they?
No.
Mercedes, the CLA 45?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that's a rival, but it's 4 doors.
Yeah. What
else is there? Nothing else. So
C63 Saloon.
Yeah, but then you're not a 30-odd grand, are you?
Well, you said sub 50.
Coupe. No, you're getting confused here. I'm trying to just argue with the M2 people who said that there's no better 2-door sports coupe that has rear seats and ISOFIX for a kid.
All right, so you've got You got an M4 coupe, which are similar money. I'd argue that that's better than an M2.
Yeah.
But the M2's there, mate. It's there or thereabouts.
I kind of give it to them.
Yeah.
But I think as we're now going to get into, there's plenty of other cars.
C63 coupe.
Okay, calm down. There is no other choice.
Oh, no. You're going to say exactly the same as me. Go on.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
Definitely not, mate.
No,
sub 50k.
Not,
V8 F-Type.
V8 F-Type.
Yep, all-wheel drive.
I didn't even
I mean, you can
get
get the early rear-wheel drives, amazing, but apparently no one wants them. I don't know why.
because they're death traps.
Because they will literally kill you. But the all-wheel drives, I don't think you can get the facelift cars, which came out, 2017? I think, with the new headlights, the new infotainment system, which is a bit more desirable. I don't think the front bumpers look quite as good, but that's me being nerdy. So you can get an all-wheel drive V8 F-Type, sub 50k. You don't need anything else. 2 seats, super cool. You look amazing. It looks like a 90 grand car. You're going to smile all the time. Drag. There you go. Done. Finished. Done.
So you get a bill and pay the fuel.
A repair bill.
And the running
the
costs.
fuel. Watch out. The fuel is appalling.
Yeah, that's why they are 40 grand now and not 90. And when you buy a new one, Jaguar will quite happily give you 20 grand off a new one.
Well, there you go. You maybe can get a new one under 50k.
You probably could.
I just adore those cars. And the thing is, I think once they've dropped to 45-ish, they then hold quite strongly. The V8s.
Well, they do, yeah, because no one buys them.
Maybe there's some truth in that. But maybe I'm just too much of a fanboy of that car. But I still think it is a lot of car for the money. Okay, fine. It's not going to rival a 911. It's not going to rival an M4 in terms of dynamics. But in the way of making you feel and feeling like a car that's more than sub 50k, feeling special, making a lot of noise, I just think they're so cool still.
I mean, yeah, they are cool. But I actually think the better car, because it's more modern, if you're going to go down that F-type route and it's more efficient, is the supercharged 3 litre. It's fine.
The V6?
Yes.
Yeah, to be fair, and it's lighter, so it's actually a little bit nimbler on its toes.
Yeah.
The V8, the problem with the V8 is it is heavy, and so when you get on a twistier road, you kind of feel that. And it does swing its back out quite easily in the rear-wheel drive version. But yeah, okay, fine, fair. But F-type in general is a car that you should be looking at.
It's definitely good value, yeah.
Definitely good value.
100%, yeah.
Glad you're not going to fight me on that. Go on, I'll let you have a go, because what did you think I was going to say that we were going to agree on?
Well, I just assumed that you would probably try and go in with the best sports car you can buy for 50k. And you
Okay, which one specifically? Because I already know which route you're going down. You've got to pick one. You can't just say the Porsche 911.
No, because you can't get one for 50k, really.
Yes, you can. Go on.
The best sports car you can buy is a Cayman S.
Oh, wow. You went there.
Yeah. There is no better sports car for 50 grand than a Cayman S.
Oh, I disagree. I've got 3 more written down. Now, so what generation?
Well, you get, I mean, if we're going in the 30 grand, 30 or mid 30s.
No, just sub 50, bro. Sub 50.
Sub 50. So you can have a 981S, which we spoke about many times. For 50 grand bang on, you can have a GTS 981. Although the noise isn't great, you can have the 718S. Which
looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's still a car.
Okay, the noise isn't great, but it's a cracking car. There is no better sports car, mate.
You know what's the one that I always wanted to have a go and never did was the 718 Cayman T. Obviously, I'm a fan of a T variant of Porsche. It's manual, right? And a little bit theoretically lighter, but a bit of a marketing gimmick.
Oh, yes, yeah.
I thought it might be nice because that was the PDK almost spoiled my Cayman S a bit because the engine is a bit unemotional and a bit. I think the PDK stopped it from being engaging enough.
Yeah, maybe.
Where maybe a manual would save it. But okay, so you went the Cayman route, which I agree. I think I would still pick a 981 over a 718. Like they are good looking 718s, but sub 50k GTS 981. We've spoken about it so many times before. Yeah. Mid-engine Porsche. I mean, it's still usable, still practical. But my point, and you do have one of these downstairs, 997 Turbo.
Yes.
I mean, what a car, sub 50k.
Yeah.
I mean, I've spoken about on the podcast before that there's the sub 50k, the sort of circa 35k Porsche market is so interesting. But if you're really trying to get to the top ends of the 50k budget and you want a proper 911, the 997, as we know, heralded this kind of a step forward in reliability, usability, practicality, etc., which you've like to harked on about. It's a turbo, bro. Like the top of the everyday Porsche sports car brand. And the 997, I think, looks more modern. The 996 I adore because of its kind of modern classic, nods. So 996 Turbo, I think, is a wicked looking car. But the 997, most people wouldn't know if that's a brand new or like how old that is. Put a private plate on it. People aren't going to really have a clue.
Yeah.
And you've got one downstairs, but I think it's a bit over 50 though, isn't it?
Yeah, like 53 or 54, but it's only done 20,000 miles.
Yeah, I've definitely seen a few 997 turbos, but you can also get some stunning standard 991 Carreras out there. Like there's a lot of Porsches sub 50k. And whilst you would go towards Cayman, I think a 911, like it's just a 911, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if we was up in the budget a bit, again, the best sports car.
I got a GT3.
It's not a sports car, but I would just say 911 in general. That is the best. But if we're talking about money and under price point, the Cayman, I think anything Porsche really, because it's what they build. But I think if you're looking at age and mileage and not being that old, then I'd definitely say Cayman.
Classic us. We just turned this into a Porsche fanboy episode. Again. And I'm going to actually interrupt this segment very briefly because you touched on, I touched on GT3 and you did a little bit. We haven't talked about my Speedster experience.
Oh, can we?
Yeah, because that video's gone out now.
Oh, okay.
And I literally handed the car back 2 days ago.
Right. And tell me.
I mean, I actually think it's the perfect car. In the sense of this, let me explain. Because you obviously had GT3 RS of the 991.2, and I'm a big fan of the Touring. Now, this is a GT3 Touring without a roof.
Correct.
Or, well, it does have a roof, but the whole rule, and I used this in the video, Catchpole summarized it so nicely in his Carfection piece. A convertible is a car that you occasionally have the roof down. A car that you drive with the roof down every now and again. Whilst a Speedster is a car that you very rarely have the roof up. So 364 days of the year, you should drive it with the roof down. And when you do, what a special car. No matter what the weather, no matter how cold or freezing, because you're getting GT3 Touring, but with so much more going on. Wind, noise, sound. Like it's just much more abrasive on the sensors and stuff like that. And much more engaging and thrilling. Now, they're both less serious than the GT3, which I also think makes them, the Touring and the Speedster, better road cars. And it just looks the bomb. I would have one and I would aggressively put waterproof materials on the inside and get them to remove the roof because it adds 50 kilos. So I get them to remove the roof, have wood, and just literally just drive it. Doesn't matter. Like Jethro Bovington in the Speciale Aperta, just drive it in the pouring rain with the roof off.
Or go and live in LA.
Yeah. That too.
Which is probably cheaper.
So I've sort of tried to step back and I've had a few chats with people because my big thing in the video, I struggled a bit in the video because let's face it, it is a GT3. I didn't really know what else to say. I mean, I've driven so many of them. But the point I was trying to go in on was the fact that so many of them are for sale. And you pointed this out when the car came out. You said to me, there are so many on the market already. I'm being offered them. I know of them. And I said, no way. And I went in on that angle being I think it's kind of outrageous people are selling them. Because it suggests the car's not very good. First, I think it gives this idea that people don't really like them, so they're getting rid of them. And secondly, F you, because if I got a slot for one of those cars and I could afford to build a Speedster from factory, that's a forever car.
Yeah. But most of these people now, they all buy these cars because they just want to try and earn some money out of them. And do you know what? Serves you right.
Yeah, it serves you right because they're not earning lots of money. They're pretty much selling list.
Yeah.
So, people are getting their money back, fine, but not flipping them and getting lots of money like they thought. And I know, I'm not really a big convertible fan, and I know you're not either. But genuinely, dude, this was such a cool experience of a car. It's not your one and only car in the garage.
No way.
But if you've got a few, would I have it over Touring? I think I would because it's a Touring +1.
The only thing I get what you're saying. The only thing is a Touring list, mate, is 135 grand. The Speedster's nearly double that.
Good point. And that's the thing I think I probably didn't think about and didn't address in my video.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine pointed that out and I went, actually, you're so right. And even a touring with overs as they are, 180, even 200 for the nicest low mileage example,
Amazing.
Still 50 grand less than a Speedster.
Yeah.
So at that point, fine. But if they were the same money, I think that was my point and I should have said that in the video and I kind of forgot to.
Well, I mean, we're all human.
We're all human. Anyway, we're now talking about a budget which is five times what we were supposed to be. So let's rein things back in and move back because I'm going to go with my next pick, Audi R8.
Sub 50 grand. Yeah, you can. You have a V8
Audi
one.
R8. That's exactly it. Is there some... Did you hear something in the background then?
Like what?
Listen.
No.
Oh, sorry if people were picking up on that. I'm on a website and there's some like American guy driving a Chevrolet Stingray. I could just hear this like,
Really?
yeah, I left one of the channels open. Sorry if that's been really annoying people for a while. Anyway, we're back in the room. Yeah, R8, sub 50k. You can get a V10 R8 sub 50k.
You can. You have a bit of miles on, yeah.
You can get a V8 manual sub 50k easily. I think you could probably find privately a V10 manual, I think.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
No,
Really?
V10, no way.
Why not?
Because it's far too fast for a manual, that car. No, thank you. No way.
I don't think it is that fast. A big engine, but it's not that fast.
No, it is. Too much going on. There's a stupid gearbox as well, that gated gearbox. No, crap.
I mean, die. Like, just go and die.
No, what?
I got a gated gearbox in the 360.
Exactly. And what have I always said about that car?
Gated gearboxes are amazing.
Yeah.
Clunk,
If you
click.
want to do 40 mile an hour,
No.
top speed.
Just because you don't know how to shift properly.
I know exactly how
I
to
always
shift
hit
properly.
the metal. It gets in the way.
I do not hit the metal.
Yeah, okay. So why don't you like it?
Because
Brilliant.
it's not efficient. It's crap.
I hate you so much right now.
I'm not
Don't listen
interested.
to him. Go and buy a V10 manual R8. Because another car that screams supercar. That is a supercar for 50k. I know it's not actually a supercar, but it is a supercar to the
Well, it is a
unknown.
supercar,
It's a supercar, mate.
It's a
Like,
supercar.
V8 or V10 form. You tell your mate, I've just bought an R8. Holy poodle! And what a car! And are they reliable? I get the feeling they're reliable.
Well, I mean, no. I mean, they are. They are. But they do have their problems, mate. Like, you know,
Like
they
all these
are
cars.
old. Yeah, they're old. So, you know, they suffer from oil leaks, catastrophic ones.
Right.
Suspension problems. The double clutch is all right. But you won't get a S-tronic.
S-tronic, yeah.
You won't get an S-tronic. The R-tronic is awful. The clutches are a fortune when they go. I mean, I can carry on if you like.
Okay, so maybe not such a great idea.
I mean, in a
still,
dream
like,
world it is, but
I just think I've kind of always had a soft spot for them. One of the first test drives videos we ever did was in an R8, but that original shape, that softer shape, I just think it represented such an attainable supercar for so many people. And even now, sub 50k, I just think what a car in terms of performance. And don't listen to Tony, V10 manual gated box.
so
what
if
a
we were
thing.
going sub 100k, the R8 would be right at the top of my list.
Really?
The new one,
The newer
S-tronic,
one, okay.
100%, yeah.
Interesting.
It's a very good car.
I remember that was when I met you. That's the car you had.
It was, yeah.
And you put Le Mans lines on it to
I
make it
did,
look like it
yeah.
was a special edition.
Yeah.
Or the bell end.
No, it looked
Okay, what's next on your list?
The Alfa Giulia Quadrifoglio.
Oh, yes. Now, I would pitch this to people who are, M3, C63 buyers. And it still annoys me that not more people buy the Giulia Quadrifolios, but then I can answer why they're not, because I've never bought one, in the sense that I could have a million times. But
I've had a couple of them, I have.
I
And
know
then
you
we've
have.
stocked a couple as well.
they're brilliant, but there's just
great car.
they do go wrong as well.
Yeah, but you get one. For 50k, you get a warranty one. You get a nearly new one. So who cares if it goes wrong?
Just
it's
to
a
drive, the driving position.
Yeah, the steering, the brakes, a really good car.
Infotainment's crap though, isn't it?
It's
that little
terrible.
mini screen.
Yeah.
Lets it down, 'cause especially when you're going up against M3, CC3s, RS4s, whatever.
Drives much better than all them though.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's a driver,
Yeah.
and it's something different.
Yeah.
It's something to talk about, something to show off. Like people, what's that? It sounds the bomb. You can pretend
Yeah.
like you're in a mini Ferrari.
Yeah.
I'm with you there. That's a good shout, mate. I'd forgotten about those.
So really, at the moment, Cayman and Julia, I am absolutely flying.
So am I with F-Type 997 Turbo and R8. Before we switch to
How
some...
comes you've done 3 and I've only done 2?
Oh, God knows. Because I know more than you. Before we switch to the patron suggestions, one more that I want to get in there, because I was browsing. Supra. And you know why I'm going to say this? The new Supra. And I know everyone loves to ask, BMW, just get the Z4. Blah, blah. We were on the motorway the other day, and I was chatting about, what cool, quirky cars. And we drove past Supra, and I went, there you go. It looks good.
Yeah.
It was red. It looked cool. It's small, sort of, nicely powered, a little bit different, a little bit quirky. You can modify it. Off you go.
Yeah.
But probably a lot now, because they're going to drop, aren't they? We would assume.
Yeah. They are a good car. We've had a couple here. And when they released that at Geneva Motor Show, I absolutely finished it off, Toyota being lazy and a BMW.
Sure.
But it isn't the same as the Z4 or whatever it is. Although it's basically the same, it's not the same, and it has got a little bit more character. And I'd go with you there. It's not my first choice, but I'd agree with you.
Yeah.
So I've got one more.
Go on, give it to me.
Because I've gone 2-door, 4-door, hot hatch.
Oh, don't say Golf R.
A45S, new one.
Really?
Very good. Yeah.
So, I see that and I think, overpriced and too much power.
No, it's a very good car. Too much power is 4-wheel drive.
No, but as in, who needs that in a hot hatch, mate?
Well,
It's like, that's not a hot hatch anymore. That is a sports car.
Well, that's why we're doing 50k sports cars then.
Good point.
Yeah.
But would you then not get a C63?
No,
That's what I don't get.
No.
No?
The 45 is modern, isn't it? And in the real world, it's probably faster than the 63.
Yeah, probably.
Isn't it?
And
It's
I guess
got all
hatch is smaller.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
It's in
I just
there,
look
mate.
at it and it annoys me. No, fair. I've never driven one, never been in one.
It's very good.
But it just kind of like,
No, it's very good. I was
very good.
very impressed.
okay. Well, you did well there because you picked one from each category. Now, let's switch to our
It's not
patrons.
bad for 15 minutes of thinking.
Yeah. you do know your stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see what some of our patrons have suggested. So, Matteo said he would get himself a 90s second gen Toyota MR2 Turbo.
Oh my God, that's my era.
Matteo, what are you doing, mate? What is this? Is a project car? I mean, fair enough, but
Well, it will be a project, be full of rust.
how much? Okay, I'm just going to move past that. His second choice is an Alpine A110, which is a great pick, actually, a great shout. They're great little cars.
The MR2 was above the Alpina.
He said, yeah, no, I think he's talking. I don't really understand.
Is he well?
That's what I mean. 90s second gen MR2 Turbo as a project car.
Okay, so he spent the whole of the 50 grand then, because he's bought one of them and the A110. I guess. I mean, I don't.
No, he said because then he's Matteo. Just get the Alpine, mate.
Yeah. Don't waste your money, boy.
Love you though. Thanks for supporting the podcast.
That's a Patreon.
It's a patron.
I'll do whatever you like.
John Moffat, 911. Yes, John, we agree.
Well done, John.
Lots of cars in there. Jacob Hoffman, 360 F1 or a 996 4S. Now, you're going to be surprised what I'm going to say here. I'm going to say go get the 4S.
Well, I'm not surprised. The Forest's a better car.
Because a 360 F1 isn't all that. That
No.
F1 box is a dog.
Yes.
And because there were more of them, they were treated even worse than the manuals. And therefore, a badly treated cheap 360, which has now made its way back up to 40 or 50 grand, is a real dog. I mean, that's going to catch fire on your driveway when the engine's off.
That was 25 grand once. That
Oh,
car.
yeah. Like, you have to watch out with so many of these cars that rock bottomed a few years ago and have now creeped their way back up. That's why I spent so long theoretically looking for my 360s. I wanted to find a really meticulously maintained one, which
But
is
then
hard
you
to
give up
do.
and just bought your one.
No. You are such a prick. How's your GT3 RS? Oh, wait, you got rid of it.
Oh, again, he always says that.
So, so I think 360 F1s tend to be trouble. 996 4S, I've really come on strong with the 996 at the moment. 4S I think is a really good looking car. And, well, you can go wrong in those, but anyway. Kearney said, since I get my kicks on the track,
probably a Macan GTS to tow my track car. Stop showing off, Kearney.
Macan GTS is a good shout, but it's an SUV. I mean, it's not a sports car.
Well, so here's the thing, right? I had to pick up the Speedster from the Porsche Experience Centre, and I was chatting to my friend who picked up his GT3 in the same way, his actual GT3 owned, and he did one of the things, and he also bought a GTS for his wife.
Fair.
And when he went, the instructor said, you've got a GTS, let me show you what this thing can do. And they took him out on the track in the GTS, and he was blown away. He goes, 99% of people buying this car have no idea what it's capable of.
No, it's an unbelievable car, mate.
I've never been a huge Macan fan. I should have put that in the most overrated cars last week. But there's something, I saw the newer shaped one the other day in a really nice silver clean spec. And I went, well, actually, you know what? That's quite nice, isn't it?
No, it's a great car.
And the GTS is a proper whip.
Yeah, it's a great car.
As an everyday, I think I might swap the X3 for a GTS in a year or something like that, 18 months time.
Yeah.
Help me get that 992 GT3 slot, which I can't afford.
You might have to buy 2 or 3 of them.
Anyway, watch this space. Chris Brown. I'm an Aston fan. Yes, Chris. I actually didn't bring up a Vantage because I knew Tony would just ruin me. But you're going for it, Chris. You've gone 2010 to 2013 Aston Martin Vantage V8. I mean, you're in for a world of trouble, but you will have infinite cool factor amongst your mates, and because you could drive up in a 2006 for V8 Vantage, I'm forgetting my years now, and tell someone it's a 2014 car, and I wouldn't have any clue.
Well, no, you wouldn't, because they're all the same.
All the same, but how brilliant is that?
Well, until you get a bill. I mean,
they
honestly,
are.
It is not cool. I mean, you tell your mates you got an Aston and say, congratulations, you're the coolest bloke. The next week, they say, where's your Aston? I was at home, I can't drive it. It's broke.
Should I tell people about the V12 Vantage story?
You can, yeah.
Okay, so this is real behind the scenes insight here. As you all know, I recently picked up an Abarth. Teaser.
Congrats.
It's not the only car I'm buying this month. Oi, oi. More on that soon.
I don't know.
Yeah. But before I bought those 2 cars, I was looking at...
I do know what you bought.
Yeah,
you idiot.
Oh, shut up. I was looking at a V12 Vantage because I was cruising the internet around this price point, to be fair, and I suddenly noticed this relatively cheap-looking V12 Vantage. It was at about 53 grand, I think. Mm-hmm. Now, that's a bit above my price point, but that's about 15 grand less than most other V12 Vantages. And I always like to keep an eye out on a V12 Vantage because why not? So I immediately spotted it, sent it over to my mates at Aston Martin Bristol, said, is it me or is this a ridiculously good value car? It had 50-odd thousand miles on the clock. So, high mileage, but fine. And they came back and said, you know what, to be fair, yes, that does look like a good deal. So I went, right, what do I need to ask her? What do I need to know? He said, well, on average, we would recommend V12 clutch changes every 25,000 miles, but we almost always do them before that point. So if it hasn't had 2 clutches, it's going to need one. Also, it's noted on the advert that he's had the front brakes done. Now, brakes are extremely expensive and also need been doing, so the rear brakes should have been done recently, or they're going to be needing doing. So apart from that, everything else is just tickety-boo. So those are the big spend items that you should check. So I emailed the guy, super nice guy, super friendly, sends me all the information. Clutch was last done at 10,000 miles.
Yep.
Rear brakes were shown as amber on the health check, and a couple of other bits and bobs here and there. So I go to Aston and I say, hi mate, just so I know, what's the kind of cost? And they said, well look, without really knowing, this is a very rough ballpark. You're looking at somewhere between 10 and 15 grand plus VAT. So I went, for a clutch and brakes.
Which is why he's selling it.
Which is why he's selling it. So I aggressively went back to the guy and said, well look, it needs about 10 or 15 grand's worth of work, so can I have 10 or 15 grand off the asking price? I never heard back ever again. So he was either massively offended or realised I was onto him. But what a cool car. I wanted to go down the angle of I bought the cheapest V12 Vantage in the UK, but needing that much work and considering it was already 10 or 15 grand out of my budget, I was the wrong way. I'm not an idiot.
Well, the title would have been I bought the dearest fucking Aston in the fucking UK. That's what would have happened now.
Yeah, it would have been an absolute disaster. So I thought a little bit of insight into you there, guys, as to what's been going on. But I went down a different path, as we know, and Abarth has been revealed, and stay tuned because
it's now 500 horsepower.
Something else is coming. There's not 500 horsepower. I'm keeping it very OEM. Okay, back to the patrons. Hanif Jetha. You've gone down the Porsche route, but he's gone 3.2 Classic Carrera Super Sport. I think a clean one would be over 50k, so he's going for a 964. Now I looked at this a lot. Slightly older Porsches, like Ferraris, unfortunately, they're just gone.
Yeah, it's a world of pain.
But no, not a world of pain, mate. You don't like classics. What I mean is value-wise. You can't find good pre-996, like even the 993, 911, sub 50k anymore.
No.
It's like 308 Ferraris. It's all gone. It's all big money now. And then big money to restore them or keep them running. So, Hanif, I love your intentions, but I think you're in for a world of trouble.
In the real world, it's not a thing. It's all lovely looking at these cars, these old cars, but you can't use them.
No, you can use them, mate, if you look after them correctly, if you maintain them, but you've got to spend money. You can't just pick one up and go and have fun. You've got to spend a lot of money and be meticulous and maintain them and use them regularly and expect bills.
Use your Ferrari a lot, do you?
I do, mate, actually.
How much? I mean, I've never seen you in it.
Well, because I don't come here because you just slag it off. What do you mean? I used to, because of the way I've looked after it, I know that whenever I want to go and get into it, I can get going.
Really?
Yeah, it's serviced every year on the dot. It gets an health check every 6 months.
Yeah.
I put the fucking best fuels in it, best oils in it. It's looked after by Windrush, who lick it clean every night.
Yeah.
I mean, it's immaculate.
Yeah. But you don't drive it.
Mate, what are you on about? That car comes out at least once a month.
Really?
At least once a month, yeah. I just don't film it because I feel like, I can't just film like a generic video in it because I've filmed every video under the sun. So what's the point? I'm not literally going to be I was about to go in on Archie.
I sold 4 cars by then.
Yeah, exactly. Should I sell it? What's going on with my 360? So I just use it, mate. I just enjoy it. I think this year, to be fair, in terms of mileage, it's probably quite low mileage. Because I go to like Dalesford, I'll go to my parents.
Yeah.
I'll go out for a Sunday drive. But yeah, at least once a month I use it.
Good. But
Just
you
more
do
than
look
your
after
GT3
your car.
RS.
Well, I've done 9,000 miles in that car and didn't lose any money. How much you lost on your car? Thank you. Good night.
Okay, I'm just refreshing the patrons very quickly. Josh Lovat, Mark III TTRS, interesting choice. A lot of people I used to have a TTS, obviously. A lot of people still love the TTs, which I'm glad
And
to
the
see.
RS.
What?
Is that? Did you say TTRS?
TTRS, that's what I mean,
it's
yeah.
fast car, that.
Fast car. 2009 DBS is Michael, how do you pronounce your surname? Chahambundor. Sorry, mate. That was my best attempt.
DB9,
DBS, 2009 DBS.
are they that money now?
I don't think so, but I like his... No, I think probably the Autobox ones.
What, they're 50? Oh, they went up. They've gone back down again. I mean, they must be.
Maybe not. Maybe where he's from. Michael, where are you from, mate? Because I agree. I think they're like at 60 or 70, aren't they?
Yeah. I don't think they're 50.
You know what? People are suggesting a lot of things that we brought up with either means we're cleverer than we thought, or we've all got the same kind of mind. 718 Boxster, 991.2, GTS, Serge, you're not getting that, mate, so I adjust your thing. Quadrifolio from Nick. Nick Lloyd has gone for an AM Vantage. So, a lot of similar thoughts here. And fundamentally, there is a lot to choose from, but I think it's kind of clear as to what's the good stuff.
Yeah, and we haven't even mentioned the SUV market.
No, because I didn't want to. I mean, that's a whole nother sector, isn't there? You know what I've seen a lot of recently? RSQ3s.
Yeah.
They're all over the road suddenly.
Yeah, well, BMW done that, didn't they, with the
X3 M40i.
Yeah.
Hello.
No, not that one. The other one. The one up from that.
M competition.
They absolutely romped them out, didn't they? It was
Yeah.
$599 a month or something. There was millions of them, and now
I missed that deal.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that brings an end to today's episode. I say lots has been going on. Lots is still going on. I keep teasing season 4. Keep teasing the studio. The problem is I need a little bit of a break to be able to set it all up. But also, yeah, we've got some guests coming to join us over the weeks ahead.
Oh, have we?
Yeah, which is very nice. So different to before, we're not going to be doing like in-depth interviews anymore. Instead, people are going to be coming and just sitting and chatting with us and being part of the conversation, which would be fun. And yeah, anything else we want to update people on? I don't think so.
I think we're there, aren't we?
I think we're there, yeah. So thank you very much for tuning in. If you're watching here on YouTube, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications so you don't miss future episodes. If you're listening, keep following on whatever platform you're listening. And if you want to support our podcast, like the amazing patrons who already do. Oh, by the way, last bit of admin. Patrons, the rewards are coming. The t-shirt. I forgot to bring you your t-shirt.
Oh,
I've got you your
yours?
BT t-shirt. I should have worn. Oh, I'm so bad at this podcasting thing. The t-shirts are coming. Key rings, stickers, mugs. They are literally being printed right now. Not hats yet. That's next year, Tony. Thanks for revealing the big secret.
Oh,
But they're literally being produced now. So I would hope by the end. No, November. They'll be with you in November. There we go. Awesome. Thanks for tuning in. Catch up soon. Bye bye.